Good morning. During the 10 years between 2008 and 2018 makes it a decade. And I'm finding the actors and actresses who acted at the Old Town Playhouse in Traverse City, Michigan, and giving them a memory and a video for their family members, children, and especially to them, so they can look back standing on their theater stage. And this time is actress Kristina Nichols. Good afternoon. This is my book, and this is where I put all of my reviews in. Cabaret was in the Old Town Playhouse, and I'll read a few words for you. Cabaret, a rambunctious, titillating, and socially insightful musical, opened at the Old Town Playhouse under the brilliant direction of Brian Dungeon. It's the Oscar and Tony Award-winning musical play, masterfully scripted by Joe Masteroff, and commonly witty lyrics by Fred Ebb. The birth of cabaret originated in Paris, France during 1881. It soon was the partisans' rave by artists, writers, painters, prostitutes, and homosexuals. Cabaret entrenched its roots in Germany at the turn of the century and eventually established itself in 1920s Berlin. This is where this magnificent musical play begins.
Wow, what isn't it about? It's about the decadence of the Weimar Republic in the 1920s and the Depression turning into fervor for Nazism. It's about relationships between men and women. It's about relationships between people in society. It's about all sorts of different things. Too many to mention all at one time. So.
You see, the last show that you directed here was Rocky Horror, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is somewhat similar. It's a little similar in some respects, isn't it?
It is, actually. A lot of the stuff that happens inside the club within the show is very decadent and very reminiscent of some of the themes from the Rocky Horror Show. On the other hand, it's a completely different turnaround because a lot of the subject matter and the complete underlying theme is a lot scarier.
I think most people have seen the movie with Liza Minnelli and Michael York in the 1972 version of Cabaret. How is this stage play different from the movie? Or perhaps it's not?
Wow. It's been a while since I've actually seen the movie, but there are characters and subplots that are in the movie that are not in the stage play. It's cut down quite a bit that
You don't have any trains in this production?
We have seen 2 scenes on trains, yes.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You don't see the whole train. You see just one compartment of a train and then half of a compartment of the train. And those are very abbreviated. But the comparisons between the movie, I think it's a lot different of an animal. I didn't really care for the movie that much, but having directed the show, I love the musical, the stage show a lot better.
You know, I saw the movie version just a little while ago, and, you know, I didn't really care for it that much either. The stage setting of the Kit Kat Club in the movie was just a little too sterile for me. It didn't have the seediness, you know, that real cabaret had back in those days.
That might have been a function of the time frame in which the movie was made. I don't know.
I believe so. They didn't want to discourage too many ticket holders.
Right.
The play first came out in 1966, and that was during the Vietnam era. So do you think that that was maybe one of the motivations for cabaret being created in the first place?
Wow, that's going back, and I couldn't really speak to that. What I can speak to, on the other hand, is the world that we live in today, and a lot of what we discuss as a people today in regard to war, national pride, security issues, rights being taken away, maybe, etc., are very much involved with this show as it exists now. It's interesting looking at things that a lot of civil libertarians or anybody would worry about today in the society in which we live, and our worries and that people in Germany at the time had to worry about, that led to the rise of the Nazis, because, you know, it was a very comforting thing to have a strong government in power, and that's exactly what they promised, is a strong government with peace and security, and you're going to have your rightful place in the world. And you could look at today and see the same thing happening.
You know, it sounds as if this is definitely not a dated play. This is very contemporary with what you're saying.
I believe it is, yes, very much so.
So it's going to be going up November 2nd through the 24th. What is it about this play that you think that they would really enjoy about this production?
The music and the choreography are spectacular. The storyline is great, and we have some fantastic acting, but the people who put together the choreography together with the music did a great job, and it's just a lot of fun to watch.
In comparison to Rocky, I know that every production, you know, there's a sweet memory to every play that a director directs. How is this different from your experience in Rocky?
Well, at that time, I was newly married and we were expecting our first child. This time through,
And now you have a
we're
half
a
a
little ways
dozen.
down the road, and we have somebody who's 19 months old tagging along with me quite a bit at the time. But the circumstances to me coming into this were different, and wow, I have 900 answers for you there, but
How's the cast?
beautiful.
Are you pleased with the
and
cast?
That's the one thing, and maybe it's the one thing I do right as a director, is I cast really well. And everybody that I've ever cast in a show has been a joy to work with, and this one is no exception. These people are fantastic, talented, and just a lot of fun.
Fantastic, Brian. Thank you so much, man. I can't wait until I come tomorrow night and watch the show.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks a
Look
lot.
forward to seeing you.
You bet.
plot line. In fact, it's so close that as I watch the movie now, I can implant the songs in the movie where they should go according to the musical.
Of course, the motion picture, that was a non-musical.
Yes, yes it was.
Right. What, for all the production companies around the country that might look at this video, what is it about Illegally Blonde that may be a little different than anything else that you have experienced in the musicals that you've been in?
I don't know if it's different necessarily, but it's a combination of a whole bunch of different musicals. I think the biggest challenge with this show in particular is that it's a constant flow. The show never stops going. There's never a pause for set changes or scene breaks or anything. It's constantly flowing. There's a lot of set pieces with this that are integral to the show. So really,
how many?
Boy, I haven't even counted.
20? 20?
Probably 20 at least.
20?
Yeah.
And is that, how many scenes through the course of the production?
I haven't counted those either.
So
I think I counted 34 set changes overall.
Wow.
In the show.
That's like The Miracle Worker. It had something like about 35 different scenes and amazing.
It's huge. And Tetrising our set pieces in the back, in our small backstage area, and then making sure that they fit out. It's an art form. We've done choreography rehearsals for just the set pieces, and it's been fantastic.
I read the Record Eagle article. The stage crew is constantly in motion, right?
They are. The stage crew, everybody's constantly in motion. There's very little downtime for anybody. The cast included. If they're not on stage or off stage making a costume change or they're helping with the scene changes, it's a very demanding show.
So the lights never really go down because they're constantly, as soon as one scene is completed, they're moving set pieces in place.
That's true.
And the lights are still up.
The lights are still up, and some form of light is still up, whether we're isolating in a certain portion of the stage to provide for some cover for a scene change in the back, that there's always something going on stage the entire show.
So who are some of the cast members?
We have Abby Kaufman, who's playing Elle Woods. Abby's 17, senior at Central High School.
Does she have blonde hair?
She does have blonde hair. She was a natural blonde. We cast an Elle understudy because the role of Elle is very demanding. So if for some reason Abby were unable to do the show, we would have nobody else to fill her spot. It's not something that anybody can just jump into. That's a very demanding
So she doesn't have an understudy?
She does have an understudy.
Oh, she does?
We did cast an understudy.
Okay.
Stephanie Creve, who's in the show also, playing Margot, is understudying Elle Woods, and she's doing a fantastic job. She's going to be performing 4 times throughout the run of the show also.
How's Abby doing?
Abby's doing great. She's fantastic. We were fortunate to find a natural blonde who's talented, can sing and dance, and has just a wonderful personality about her on stage.
Wasn't
She's fun
she
to
in
watch.
Zuzical?
I think she was, yeah.
Yeah.
She was involved with the Children's Theater. I know she's done quite a few projects.
That was about
Locally.
3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I think.
So, yeah, she was in that. We have Chris Cook, who's playing Professor Callahan. We have Derek Woodruff, who's playing Warren Huntington III. Emmett Forrest is played by Riley Phoenix, and Brooke Wyndham is played by Kristina Nichols. I think
Great
those are the
cast.
majors, yeah.
And Meg Parker's in the show as well.
Meg Parker is not anymore. Unfortunately, for medical reasons, Meg had to leave the show.
Right, and good for her that she's going to be able to address her health issues.
Yeah, she is. She'll still be a part. I think she's going to be able to help us backstage, and she'll still be a part of the family. And
now I hear that you were able to obtain one of the very best, if not the best, choreographer in all of Traverse City.
yeah, that would be a very impartial opinion on my part.
And who is that?
That's my wife, Kristina Nichols. She's choreographing this show, and actually she's been my choreographer ever since I've been doing projects that needed a choreographer, or since I've known her. That is.
How did that all work out?
It works out well. She reads my mind, which is fantastic. So I don't, if I can't put something to words, she can kind of figure out what it is I'm trying to say and what I want to see, and she can put something together. And then we do have a dance captain in this show, working very closely with Christina, and that's Melissa Nerum, and together they're a phenomenal team.
And musical director?
Musical director is Joe Rice, and our vocal director is Mindy Roan. So I was able to snare some top-notch folks to work on my.
How big is the art orchestra?
In pieces, I'm not sure how many pieces it is, but it's the particular challenge of the orchestra is not only a symphonic type, your stereotypical symphonic type musical orchestra, but it also has a rock band. So you've got a symphony orchestra and a rock band included in the piece. So it's fantastic. Yeah.
Wow.
And we stopped counting how many times the music changed, and throughout the show. It's very challenging.
Who's doing your lighting design for you?
Ed Blackburn is doing my lighting design.
Oh, I was wondering where he was.
Yeah, he's here. He's doing that, and I'm able to grab him up pretty much for most of my projects. I love working with Ed. He's very creative.
And who came up with the costume design?
Kathy Verstrady came up with the costume design. She and I worked together on that, but she did all the legwork and put everything together, and most of the ideas were hers too.
How many cast members?
We have 29 cast members. We have 29 cast members in all, and a majority of those cast members, with the exception of the leads, of course, are playing dual roles.
You know all their first names?
Yes, I do. I could come up with them all if I was counting on my fingers. I could make sure I had them all down.
Okay, I'm going to time you right now. Wonderful. So anyway, this is the preview night.
It is a preview night tonight. We're very excited. We had our final rehearsal, regular rehearsal last night, and it went fantastic. Everything. I couldn't have asked for a better night. And if they bring it the same way they brought it tonight that they did last night, we're going to have a fantastic run. I'm very confident that they will. It's a fun show. It's upbeat. Your feet are always tapping, but it's got a message. It's got a real good message to it.
Fantastic. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it, Brad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have seen musicals in my life, but this one is very special. It's Shrek the Musical. I wrote reviews and I filmed the play, and it's all in this book. Old Town Playhouse has staged many lively and brilliant musical productions over the years, but this particular gem has a little something special that will carry you smiling into your following days. I wonder if William Steig realized what he had created at such a late hour in his life. And what did Steven Spielberg see in that newly published illustrated children's book that gave him pause for potential greatness? You be the judge and see for yourself within this remarkably entertaining musical jewel. It's all in there for you to see in the big, bright, beautiful world of Shrek.
I am authorized to place you both
T.